welcome back to Players Championship 5, round of 16. Brings together Gian van Veen
Dom to
against
throw for the ball.
an in-form Dom Taylor, who's been outstanding today. Had a couple of
25.
9-darters, one from Luke Littler, one from Gary Anderson.
25.
With players trading 25s. Winning the ball in these race to six
Bullseye.
is so important. Van Veen finds the button. These two have only met once before.
Bullseye.
Oh, what a reply. Still don't know who's going to have the honour. Yeah, just one meeting. That was in a European Tour qualifier, and it went the way of
25.
Van Veen by 6 legs to 5. And sorry, that was actually
25.
May of last year. But in terms of matches that have been on in between getting to this match, in the last 32, Dom Taylor had a 6-5 win over Zonneveld. Gian van
Dom to
Veen,
throw first.
a much easier task, a 6-1 win over Adam Lipscomb. So Dom Taylor put through the ringer last time out.
Here's one for you, Chris. Gian van Veen played Luke Littler
100.
last year in the final of the World Youth Championship. Gian van Veen went off favourite for that match.
I know.
That seems extraordinary now, doesn't it?
Yes.
But that was the fact of the matter.
140.
Littler was a underdog at around about 6-4 to win that match. I don't know what odds they'd be if they played this afternoon, but I suggest you if it was 6-4, there'd be a fight trying to get on Littler.
100.
Yeah, there would.
They'd have to call security to get the queue in order, wouldn't they? But what it does show you is how good a player Van Veen is.
Yes. And
we saw him at the Grand Slam in that ridiculous group,
140.
which featured Nyman, when it was just 100 averages every match, wasn't it? It was an extraordinary group, that.
Well, didn't Nyman have a tournament average of 107 and didn't win a game?
I think he had the best. It was a
97.
record-breaking tournament average.
Yes.
And he didn't even qualify.
Didn't even get out of his group.
Didn't get out of the group. Yeah.
But yeah, Van Veen, a real talent, and we're seeing
180.
examples of it here. Despite Dom winning the ball,
Van Veen, Bunting, Rock, and Nyman were the players in that group, and Nyman finished bottom.
98.
And his averages were, Chris, just for the record, 106.5, 105.5,
Game
and
shot.
111. As Van Veen takes out the opening leg while I'm going down memory lane
not
to
quite
the
as,
Grand Slam of darts.
not quite as good as my group in the slam. Can you remember it?
It's escaped my memory for now, Chris. But I
Dennis
could look it up.
Priestley, Barneveld, Adrian Lewis.
Did you qualify?
No. Didn't win a game. Came close.
Really?
Came close in a
I
couple.
can't believe that, Chris. I
Beat by
thought,
the odd leg.
you'd have swept that group with 3 out of 3, to be honest.
Topped the group with an 81 average.
Yeah. Yes, that was slightly unlucky, that draw. I'll give you
60.
that.
Yeah, so far, already into the last 16. Obviously, these two. Lucas Vennick beating Ross Smith. MVG just getting past Kyvenhoven, 6-5. Littler just getting past Dirk, 6-5, taking out 1-2-6 to win the deciding leg. Williams got the better of Johnny Clayton. Martin Lukman beat Martijn Dracht.
134.
Hetta beat Denon, 6-0. Białecki, a 6-3 winner over Van Bugada. Mike De Decker on a bit of a roll again today, beating Thomas Lovely 6-5. Rob Owen beat William O'Connor. Anderson beat Ryan Searle 6-0 with a 105. Cullen, as we know, as we
47.
covered here on this stream, a winner over Humphries 6-4. Kist beat Dolan 6-2. Dutz beat Hybrid 6-4. And Wade beat Dylan Slevin 6-2. And at the moment,
95.
Wade, who had an incredible run of legs against Bo Grieve, started his match in the last 16 with a 12-darter. Currently 3-1 up on Kevin Dutz, averaging 108. MBG 2-2 with
58.
Venig. Lukman 3-2 down to Hetta. Anderson 2-0 down to Robert Owen, having a stinker. And Joe Cullen 1-0 up on Kist. And this one
Game shot.
is 2-0 to Van Veen, who backs up the 11 with a 15-dart hold And a beautiful little finish.
Tremendous start for the governor.
41.
GVV.
I
96.
thought we'd have an influx, you know. The darts goes through generations, and I'm amazed, Rod, that all those players that sort of grew up watching Taylor in this stacking style, that it never really is something that
No.
ultimately caught on to be
83.
a thing.
Yeah, in all sports, players tend to mimic, or
Yes.
teams mimic the winning teams or players, don't they? They think they
Correct.
can do it too.
99.
What we have got is players like Gurney and Littler who can actually replicate it for when they want 60 and they throw
Very clever, isn't it?
throw a flat dart to not mask out their target.
123.
And you think that more players would be trying to do that. It's an extremely useful skill, isn't
Yes, absolutely.
it? To shape the dart, if you will, like shaping a golf ball from right
Correct.
to left or left to
Yes.
right, fade
Yeah,
or
great
draw.
shout.
And Van Veen here, leaving the big fish. His opponent struggling to get onto a finish. And won't be on a finish.
81.
So whether he would go for this after 2 treble 20s, we will have to wait and see. We'll never know now.
134.
But it's a gem of a setup shot to leave double 18 for a 3-0 advantage.
Yes, this is being played at a serious level.
99. Game
3-0
shot.
it is.
He's trundling along at a very tidy pace, and that's the double break of throw. It's, well, couldn't be any more of a worse start.
60.
Well, Van Veen for the day is averaging 102 and change. Dom Taylor averaging close to 99.
140.
Players with just the one game, it's a bit of a pointless look, but
91.
MPG averaging 100.79 for the day.
And for the match here, Van Veen's average 111.
100.
Yeah, 11, 15 and 14 the darts used so far to give him that 3-0 lead.
100.
There was a period when he was the big up-and-coming Dutchman. I alluded to it about when he was favourite to beat Littler in the World Youth Final. Then the mantle rather got snatched from him by Nyman, who became Flavour of the Month for a while, until Cullen sent him packing at the World Championship. And Nyman hasn't really
140.
produced this season, has
No.
he? This year, since the Worlds.
No, he'll have a tidy enough game and then just not able to back it up. And
So maybe
60.
the mantle is back with Van Veen now as
Yeah,
the
well,
next big thing in the Netherlands.
he had a couple of games last year. He had Rob Cross absolutely all over the shop and then couldn't put him away. And he's had quite a few games of that type where he's had control of a match, but
105.
unable to ultimately even fall over the line. I think he's got to take a different approach to winning a winning position and maybe
140.
bolt through the line rather than hope to fall over it. MVG averaging in excess of a ton right now and 5-2 up
Game shot.
on Lucas Vennick as Dom Taylor picks up his first leg of the contest, and fortunately for him, it is a break of throw.
$60.
Despite losing that leg, Van Veen still averaging 108.5. Dom Taylor averaging just north of 90 right now.
57.
Van Veen currently ranked world number 25, which is one spot above Dirk van Dijvenbode. Van Gerwen, obviously the number 1 ranked Dutchman at number 3. Then Noppert, who's
99.
overall number 13. Van Veen, Van Duivenbode. And then you drop down slightly further to Barney, who's still inside the top
100.
40. Number 35, Barney, these days.
$100.
Kevin Duke's just outside the top 40, so
In good company.
yeah.
140.
You know, I've first seen him like many of these new up and coming players down at the Super Series, and I was seriously impressed with him.
100.
You could tell there was something different about him to the field that we may have had there that week. He just could play at a different level.
He's left 64 here, Van Veen, to go 4-1 up.
Yeah, and re-establish that double break.
94.
What's your take, Rod, on these more modern way of finishing, like the on 142, 51, 51 tops?
Well, it's become very much on vogue, hasn't it? Trying to leave tops. I mean, time was that, 116 was always a treble 21st start, and then it became 419s, wasn't it? So
It certainly has become.
It becomes fashions, I think, Chris.
Yeah,
doesn't it? Trends.
actually, yeah, trends. Yeah, yeah. I mean, counting has certainly evolved.
Of course, it has. Yeah.
Way, I'm seeing players do shots now, and I have to sort of take notes and go, I know why you've gone that way.
Exactly. Well, and Littler has produced all manner of strange routes. Some of them you think aren't
30.
mathematically sound, but he hits it anyway.
Yeah.
Same to Mark earlier. I likened it to some of the stuff he was doing was like someone taking a card on 17 on the blackjack table.
Yeah.
And he keeps pulling fours.
Game shot.
Dom Taylor closes the gap.
Yeah. So the thing with Littler that it's become prominent for me how he is so conscious
96.
around the numbers where he can leave a shot that can be completed in 6.
Yeah.
In his opening 6.
That's right.
And that's a conscious thing. That's not
most definitely
something that he stumbled
100.
over. And maybe that's why he does have so many 12 dart legs, because he's conscious that he's not
Running against
leaving
that situation. Yeah.
365 or 355 or 343
100.
or 342.
And, you talk about finishes, and now the ones that involve doubles, 134, 54 tops.
Yeah.
137, 57 tops. Those have become fashionable, haven't they?
In my day, that would have been almost scorned
140.
upon
Well, you'd
as
have been laughed at, wouldn't
a
you?
showman shot. Yeah.
But now that's a commonplace way of going about 134s and 137s.
92.
But Taylor here, in the midst of all that, has got back into the game from 3-0 behind to 3-2.
Yeah, and he's got an outside sniff here. And gets the trouble.
100.
So he's first to a finish. It depends how low Gian Van Veen can go from 2-1-3, and that's only a single. So doesn't make the adjustment.
59.
Taylor goes favourite for the leg.
$39.
Not anymore, Chris, I would
No,
suggest.
and again, I think that's slightly overcomplicating things. Sort of looking at the 51 to start. Tops for Gian Van Veen for a beautiful 154. Pick the
Game
bones out of that one, Dom Taylor. And Van Veen looking on the verge of seeing that lead taken away. And that Dom Taylor won that leg, which really looked the most likely. He would have gone favourite for the match
60.
because we'd have been back on throw and he would have had the honour. Gary Anderson in a world of trouble against Rob Owen, and Rob Owen having just 87 is 5-3 up.
140.
Cullen 5-2 up on Kist, averaging mid-90s. Littler 4-1 up on Scott Williams, averaging mid-90s. De Decker 2-1 up on Białecki, Wade, 5-4 up on Dukes.
139.
Currently, as you can see here, Gian van Veen 4-2 up on Dom
60.
Taylor, but he's sort of gone missing, and this has been a bit of a feature, a bit of a theme. Already
56.
through to the quarterfinals. MVG beat Lucas Venig 6-2, and Hetta got the better of Lukeman 6-3 in what looked like a
58.
really interesting match. This one's hit a bit of a brick wall. Joe Cullen confirmed through against Kist. 99.38 the average for Cullen, 96 for Kist, but 6-2 for Joe.
40.
He can find another trouble here. He would have put himself in a
100.
real good spot. I've seen a 154, 143, a different type of shot. Arguably a little bit more difficult because there's a lot of movement.
46.
No finish now.
Went for the ball on
102.
66. Always find it strange going for the smallest target to leave a double. Kevin Doots has done a job on James Wade, 6-5. That must have been a couple of really quick legs.
Terrific win. Yeah.
Massive win.
Very
Another
quick.
young, but another player looking on the verge of doing something special.
102.
Doots, there it is. 6-5.
That's why you get the big
As
bucks.
they say. Double 16.
Game shot.
And he's in charge again now. He's had to work. You'll feel he's probably won the game twice here, Chris, won't he?
Yeah, it's just frustration for Dom because in his opening couple of matches, average 104, 105, then one in the 90s, and at the moment he's just sort of
100.
limping along at 85.89, where Gian van Veen 99.43. It's a much stronger, more reliable performance so far.
137.
5-2 and with the darts in this eighth leg. Wrap it up 6-2
57.
and move on to the last eight. What was the Van Gerwen situation, Chris?
MVG won 6-2
99.
against Venig.
So that's the quarterfinal opponent then for the winner of this
Right.
matchup, right?
Yep. He averaged 99.29 in the process. Another very
140.
good performance. Averaging over 100 for the day.
Yeah, so if it is to be Van Veen against Van Gerwen, that would be a very attractive quarterfinal tie, I think.
Yes, the
202, yeah.
past stroke present against the future.
Yeah.
120.
Unless Taylor has some remarkable fight back at the end of his right arm here.
140.
And it's going to need to go this, you feel, because Van Veen ready to swoop on 64.
Well, that don't work.
Nope.
$83.
Anderson has got it back to 5-5. Single 16 for double 16 is the chosen target.
32.
And he's given Dom Taylor a lifeline.
62 left to get back to 5-3. Well, another 15. It's not a disaster. Double 16.
Game shot.
Well, it wasn't the approved route, but he got to the destination. Some misses are better than others, Chris, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you... It's another thing. If it had been a treble 15, then things could have been a bit tricky. But the single 15, you've got the weight of dart. You just sort of follow it in effectively, guaranteeing yourself a
41.
dart at a double. And that double was found. And now Van Veen, after being 32 points away, is now
180.
321 points away.
Well, I suggested that he'd feel that he'd won the game twice. He'll feel like he's won it 3 times now. At 3-1, he must have felt he'd won it. Then at 5-2 and throwing for the match, he must have felt he'd won it.
95.
And now if he does win it, he'll have won it 3 times.
I've heard of
And he still only gets through 1 round, Chris, by the way.
I've heard of double elimination, Rob,
Yeah.
but never treble.
Yeah. He still only reaches the
57.
quarterfinal. Winning 3 matches in 1 go does not put him straight through to the final. Doesn't quite work like that, but he's still got to get the job done.
Robert Owen has done it against Gary Anderson, 6-5.
59.
89.72 for Rob Owen, 95.66 for Gary Anderson. Disappointing day
82.
for the Flying Scotsman. And Robert Owen, who was looking likely to lose his card, and then a sequence of events,
Yes.
and here he is into the quarterfinal of Players' Championship number 5.
96.
182. It's got the darts from here. 96 leaves 86. So again, he should get at least dart at the ball, as long as he doesn't stray out of the 18 segment.
But
140.
Taylor is waiting on 70 if the chance materialises. 2 at double 16 to wrap it up.
70.
3 match starts gone. 2 in this leg, 1 in the previous leg.
Treble 18. No, treble 10 for tops, and he's found it. He's quite hard to read. He's so tall. He looks down on everything.
30.
No good following his eyes.
And that is
Game
all she
shot
wrote.
and the match.
Gian
Gian
van
van
Veen finally wrapped it up against Dom Taylor. The road got a bit bumpy towards the end, but the Dutchman is through. He gets through by 6 legs to 3 with an average of 98 and change to face Michael van Gerwen in the quarterfinals.